Well, welcome to Waynos Fotos Cameras, and today we're going to be talking about microphones, but specifically not microphones and their performance and the preamps and how crisp they sound and what's the best microphone for YouTube. There's many other channels who are talking about that, but something that people don't talk about very much is wind. Now, what we're going to be talking about today is which microphones are best for wind and how can you reduce the wind on those microphones, because I live in a very windy part of the world called Perth, West Australia, and very rarely do we have days when there's no wind and you can just go outside with a microphone, a clean microphone, and not get wind noise. So I'm going to give you some of the hacks and tips that I use to control the wind when I'm recording outside with sound. Now, the microphone I'm using right at this moment, and it's actually just right above me, is a Rode Video Mic Pro. Now, there is a newer one that's come out which has a built-in rechargeable battery, but this is one where the battery comes out and you just got to put a 9-volt battery in. Now, I've bought rechargeable 9 volts, so I can replace that out and I can recharge it, because one of the big negatives with this particular microphone is it's very easy to forget and leave it on, flat the battery, so you can go through batteries pretty quickly. With a rechargeable battery, obviously it's not such a big drama, you just charge it up again, but it gives a really nice sound. It's a very good microphone. It's around about $250 Aussie in Australia, so it's not a really bottom end microphone. It's quite expensive and it works quite well. It's got a suspension system. Here's another one that I've got, because I've got two. It's got a suspension system, so it doesn't pick up handling noise, and it's very good at, when you point it at something like this, it's very good at being a shotgun microphone. So it cuts out, as you turn it away, the sound changes. So it's very good like that. And it's designed to be fitted onto the top of your camera. It has a shoe here, so it can go onto the top of your camera. So it can be used as a camera shotgun microphone. Now, I think this is where the perception of this microphone goes all wrong, because that indicates that you're going to put on top of a camera, you're going to go outside, you're going to film things, and this microphone is going to do a really good job. Well, that is the issue with this microphone. It doesn't. Because it picks up lots of the really nice crispy sounds, it also picks up the wind. Now, you might say, yeah, I can get a windsock and I can whack it on there. Well, I've got a windsock here, and you just pop this on the top, you just slide it on. It takes a little bit of work to get it on, but you can work it on. But the problem is this windsock here, or dead cat they're called, doesn't make a lot of difference with this microphone. Well, not here in Perth, WA, because our wind's quite significant. If you had probably a little bit of wind, it might work, but in general, it doesn't help too much with this particular microphone. So I was a little bit disappointed with the microphone in my application. But I've still got two, because indoors right now it works beautiful. But I've got some other microphones, and ones that are built into recorders. I've also got some lavalier microphones that you can clip on and plug into these things. And I was playing around with these microphones, because this one here's a Tascam DR05X. So this is their cheapest, Tascam's cheapest little microphone. So it's not that expensive. It's probably about the same as the Rode microphone, but this does a whole lot. It records our microphones and everything. And I thought, well, do the microphones in this unit here perform like the microphone that the Rode is? And I found no, it doesn't. Now, this microphone here, what I did is I bought a microphone screen cover. This one's a yellow one here. And I got an old sock, a little sock, and I fitted this onto the top of the microphone like this. Pop that on there like that, because these are cheap. These things are just microphone. You can buy a whole box of them for like $10. And then I put this sock on the top here onto the top of the foam, so it covers it up. And this is doubled over, so it's like 2 layers. You can make it so it's 2 layers in there. And you can use a zoom microphone as well. The H1N works exactly the same. And that comes with a little accessory kit, so the foam fits a bit better than this one does. But you still need the sock. And once you put this on the microphone, this microphone, you can take it outside and it will tolerate a significant amount of wind noise. So these little cheaper microphones are really good. So if you live in an area and you're struggling with wind noise, or you're like avoiding microphones because you have a windy environment, and you're using something like this, a high quality microphone that picks up that wind, try some of these cheaper microphones like this one here and the H1M, because it doesn't matter how good your microphone is. If you're getting wind noise on your microphone, it's unusable. It's really cringe sound when you hear it in your ear, the wind noise. But if the microphone's not quite as good, but you're getting no wind, it's usable. It may not be perfect and it may not be quite as crisp, but at least it's usable. And the great thing about this is I like to capture environmental sounds. So let me just give you an example. Let's just say you are doing an event. It was a party or it was a wedding, and there was the party was happening on outside because they didn't want to have it inside. It was a nice warm day because we get some beautiful, nice summer days here and evenings in Perth, West Australia. And you wanted to capture that sound. You didn't want to just have music and there's not much there and just put some bird sound in, or try and just put some ambient. You wanted to capture the sound that's there. Well, you can use something like this and you can capture the people talking and laughing. It doesn't need to be distinguishable like exactly what they're saying, but what it does is it gives that ambience and it gives that feeling that the people are enjoying themselves and having a good time, and it adds to the film or the video. So I'm a big fan of using something like this and capturing that sound, and it really can make a difference to your film. It can bring the audience into the film because there's that sound of the chatter of people and, the clinking of drinks and glasses and, the pouring of the beverages into the glass, and all of those subtle little sounds in the background can then be added to your film or your video and give that extra experience. Well, guys, that's where I'm going to leave it. And if you've got any questions about my hack here, you could buy a proper dead cat for these. I would imagine that would work just as well. But yeah, just leave your comments down below and I will see if I can answer them. Or I might even be able to try the experiment because it's always pretty windy here, and I can try if that works. Okay, guys, that's where I'm going to leave it, and I'm going to see you next video.